This is Oedipus, and I'm here with the Bangles today to discuss the great new record called Different Light. And sitting to my immediate left.
Yes. Hello, I'm Debbie Peterson.
And this is her sibling, Vicky Peterson.
And this is Susanna Hoffs.
And this is Michael Steele.
This is the Bangles. Hero Takes a Fall. That's how you were introduced to the world for the most part, outside of the faulty EP.
That's true.
Thus far, that's your greatest hit.
That was a really fun song to write, and it went through a lot of changes until the last day. I have a tape of Vicky and I going, we really wanted to do a beat, and we're going, hero is exposed. And there's this tape I have. Da, 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 da. It's really funny, but...
We went outside on Sue's got this old wooden swing set that I think her father built in whenever, the 60s, and it's we were sitting on the swing set, I remember that, and thinking of what is the title going to be? I mean, how we need this central, we need a nucleus, you know, we had all these ideas floating, and not really the concept is, I hate to use that word, but concept.
We wanted it to be like, lyrically, sort of like the Beau Brummel's Laugh Laugh meets Where Were You When I Needed You meets Positively 4th Street or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Meets,
of course you can hear in all those songs.
And you came up with Hero Takes a Fall.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
was, when we get
set.
stuck, we often do this. It sounds really
It's a
bizarre,
swinging
but we
song.
go and just pull a random book out of the shelf and just open it. Like some people do that with magazines or comic strips. And I pulled out this book on Greek tragedy. And there was in the intro.
So you set the scene.
See, I know your Oedipus. You
You understand.
Actually, it was the intro to Oedipus Rex.
It was.
And
It
right
was?
there, yes,
Sure was.
right there in the intro says the hero has a fatal flaw, and his crimes are brought to the light of day, and he has
he
a
won't be-
tragic fall. You know,
Did
the
it say
hero
sorry,
takes,
sorry, sorry? No.
No, it didn't say sorry, but the
Judgment
hero, takes a tragic fall, and that was it. And we didn't even get it. You had to call me up on the phone a couple
Yeah.
days later and say,
Sue.
yeah,
That's
here
it.
it is.
The hero is exposed when his crimes are brought to the light of day. Won't be feeling sorry on the judgment day. Wasn't it me who said there'd be a price to pay, and I won't feel bad at all when the hero takes the fall. When the hero takes the fall. Your mother told you stories. You substitute with girls who tell you more. Suddenly your psychophants are chanting slogans at your door. They're seeing through you now. I saw it all before, and I won't feel bad at all when the hero takes the fall. When the hero takes the fall. Oh, no. Emotion is a virtue. For you, it is the one fatal flaw. Sitting on your throne and drinking, thinking to return your call. Every story's got an ending. Look out, here it comes, and I won't feel bad at all when the hero takes the fall. When the hero takes the fall.
Liverpool Like Egyptian was a song that we heard on a tape. It had never been fully recorded.
And it was done by Kimberly Rue, who was in the Soft Boys, is now in Katrina and the Waves.
Yeah.
And they do the song as well live. And it's
Have
on
you
the
met?
record.
Have you met
Oh,
Kimberly?
yes.
Yeah.
They're wonderful
In
people.
fact,
Very
he
nice.
wrote a letter to a friend of ours, and she read it to me over the phone, and he said, "Oh, for that Bangle record, he
The new
really
one.
likes it. He likes the new one."
And he mentioned something nice in that letter. He said, wouldn't it be great if all musicians could be friends,
Yeah.
you know, and really communicate with each other? Because it's happened. I mean, let's have some flowers in here
It's
right
very
now.
nice. It's very beautiful.
No, it's true though, because when we do talk with other artists and interact and you know, anyone from, you know, Kimberly and Jules Shear and these other people, you get ideas.
Christopher.
It's kind of a, you're on a different level because you're always thinking about these things, and when you can share them with other musicians and writers, it's really a wonderful experience.
He saw us at the Marquee in London, which sort of was
He
the
and
epitome.
Katrina were there. I kept looking at
Right.
Katrina because she was the only girl there, and she was wearing one of those Michael Jackson Thriller leather jackets. And I went, wow, this girl's
In
got
England.
hair. She was cool though.
But it was one of those crazy Bangle shows, the way we like them,
Where guys
by
are
the end
running
of the
up on
show,
stage
they
and-
were lying on the stage, looking up our skirts or something. I don't know, but we
Doing
didn't
this
care at
whole
that
dance,
point.
yeah.
It was jam packed.
That was a great
we were
show.
having.
Doing the worm.
It was like 1966 mania. It was crazy. It
was
was like
wonderful.
everyone was going insane, and we were too. And it was. And then Kimberly wrote something
Yeah,
about that too.
it impressed
saying,
Kimberly and just said, every time I go on stage now, I think about that show and that
it's
energy.
weird.
Also, speaking about Liverpool, speaking of communication as well, I mean, you had to ask someone what a UB40
Oh, no,
is,
we
right?
knew.
We
you
knew.
know?
We're incredibly.
It's the name of the
Incredibly
band, no?
It's like, oh wow, he had like a UB40 album in his hands.
We always likened the first
Psychotherapy.
album to having our first baby. And they always say the second baby's going to be easier.
Wrong.
Wrong. So this was our second child.
But we
with
did have a
David
cesarean.
It was worth it, though, because we feel really good about it at this point.
Well, where do you, besides writing your own songs, there's a number of covers on here. Where do you come up with these? I mean, some of them, they're absolutely amazing where you pick them out from. I mean,
Just appear on our doorsteps.
Well, the Bangles have always actually been known for covering very obscure 60s songs. That's one thing. So on the last album, we did Live, which was an Emmett Road song. This time we did September Girls, which isn't really a 60s song, but it was written by Alex Chilton, who was in the Box Tops. And
and then
it
later
has
in
that
Big
sound
Star.
to it.
yeah, it has the
Big
sound
Star.
to it.
That's an
What a band.
amazing
But
sound.
Then we did one Jules Shear song, and we just love his writing. And Vicki and I have written with him, called "If She Knew What She Wants." And then
The other song is written by Liam Sternberg, and he worked with Rachel Sweet, and
Yeah,
he's done a lot.
He was producer. He
wonderful
worked with
He did the Akron
Stiff in
compilation.
England. Yeah,
He's
Right.
yeah.
the
he's-
Akron Stiff connection.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's very talented, and we got, as we were rehearsing, David would bring in tapes and just say, well, listen to this song, what do you think of this? And, 99.9% of them, we just kind of giggled and listened to about 20 seconds of them, but Walk Like an Egyptian, there was something about it where you cannot resist.
it was so weird, and
It
we
was
thought,
just-
we can't do
We
this.
said, this isn't really us, is it? And then but we just couldn't get it out of our heads, really.
It had that sort of monotone. It reminded me of an old '60s record with not
Yeah.
Sandy Shaw. I can't think of who. Almost like an Annette Funicello record or something.
Yeah, because it had that sort of, monotonic melody line.
Girl
It was,
singer
it was an
kind of-
interesting performance. The girl who sang on the demo was Marty Jones, who.
Oh,
was
she's quite good.
yes,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was in one of Liam's bands.
She helped sell the song
One of
for
Liam's
us.
bands, which was called Color Me Gone. Yeah, she was.
She's solo now.
Yeah,
Right.
just saw
Well,
her
when
a
I-
couple of weeks ago.
When I heard this Egyptian song, because I didn't know who wrote it, I just thought, now which one of you is an Egyptian folklore?
Which one of them was on
And how do
acid
you
at the
walk
time?
like an Egyptian? I can't wait to see
Well, it
you do
sort of
this one live.
describes it in the final verses of the song.
Yes.
Slide your feet up the street, bend your back, shift your arm, and then pull it back.
All the old paintings on the tomb, they do the sun dance, don't you know? If they move too quick, they're falling down like a domino. All the buzz are men by the Nile, they got the money on a bet. Old crocodiles, they snap their teeth on your cigarette. Calling tax to the hookah pipe, say, walk like an Egyptian. The blonde waitresses take their trays, spin around and they cross the floor. They've got the moves. You drop your drink, then they bring you more. All the school kids so sick of books, they like the punk and the metal band. When the buzzer rings, they're walking like an Egyptian. All the kids in the marketplace say, walk like an Egyptian. Slide your feet up the street, bend your back, shift your arm, then you pull it back. Like it's hard to know. So strike a pose on a Cadillac. If you wanna find all the cops, they're hanging out in the donut shop. They sing and dance. They spin the club, cruise down the block. All the Japanese with their yen, the party boys call the Kremlin, and the Chinese know. They walk the line like Egyptian. All the cops in the donut shop say, Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian.
You have the songs that you want to always do. David brings some in that he knows from songwriters, etc.
Right.
And then you just have people submit them as well.
Yeah,
People
or
just
we
send
just
the Bangles songs
Yeah,
and say,
we-
this is a
Yeah.
Bangles song.
get a
We've
lot of
listened to a
songs.
lot of tapes, especially for this last album. We had quite a bit of material, but we just we're always open to things, and you never know what you're going to find. You're going to find it going down to Liverpool, and you're going to find it, Walk Like an Egyptian, and if it's great, we'll do it. And we listened to a lot of stuff this time, and obviously through CBS there are a lot of writers who are contributing and that kind of thing. And although writing our own songs is a priority for us, it's very important to us to put across our own viewpoint. There are always these other quirky little things happening.
Like when we were in the car when we heard the cassette of If She Knew, and I think, I don't know if you were there,
wasn't
Vicki,
there.
but
We were just
Michael
there.
and Debbie and I were in the car, and it just came on, and no one said this is a new Jules Shear song, but we just went, within the first 4 seconds or
Yeah.
something, we were going, whoa, this is so beautiful.
Then we went, oh, it's Jules.
It's Jules. I mean, you can tell, but it
Once
took
you
a
know his
while.
voice is
Yeah.
it's so
And it was
distinctive.
like, it was
His
just so
style.
beautiful, the melody and the words and
It
everything.
reminded us of an old Todd Rundgren
Yeah.
song, and we also went, oh.
Because we're big Todd Rundgren fans,
Yeah, we
too.
obsessed over the song from the beginning. I admit it. I personally admit to obsession with that song.
If she knew what she wants, if she knew what she needs, if she knew what she wants, if she knew what she wants, giving it to her, giving it to her. She wants everything, but there's nothing she wants. She's crazy for this girl. If she knew what she wants, giving it to her, giving it to her. I'd say her values are corrupted, but she's open to change. Then one day she's satisfied, and the next I find her crying, and it's nothing she can explain. If she knew what she wants, if she knew what she needs, if she knew what she wants, if she knew what she wants, giving it to her, giving it to her. Some have a style that they work hard to refine, so they walk a crooked line. But she won't understand why anyone would have to try walk a line when they could fly. No sense thinking I could rehabilitate her when she's fine, fine, fine. She's got so many ideas jumping around in her head. She doesn't need nothing from mine. If she knew what she wants, if she knew what she needs, if she knew what she wants, if she knew what she wants, he'd be giving it to her, giving it to her. She wants everything, but there's nothing she wants.
Do y'all know what you
Well,
want
can
and need?
understand that.
Does anybody?
The whole song is about not knowing.
If we all knew,
It's
it'd
about
be
being
okay.
crazy about somebody. Well, see, this is a weird song because you can look at it from a lot of different angles.
Like when Jules sang it, it was obviously a guy singing about the girl who was confused, the girl that he's interested
But
in.
with
He doesn't know what to give to her. He'd give her if he knew.
Yeah, we
yeah,
didn't
'cause
want
he's
to change
crazy
the song.
for her, crazy
Yeah.
about her.
We didn't want to change the song and turn all the she's into he's. It sort of it ruined I don't know. There was something about the way it was in its pristine
The
state.
way I
about a
looked
woman.
at it when I was singing of it was that I'm in love with the guy, but he's crazy for this other girl who's beyond the point of, God, if only he would just stop being crazy about her and being
Look
crazy
at
about
me.
me, because I know what I want him. That's how I looked at it. But of course, it's one of those songs that has so many different interpretations. Our original name, this is for you Bangle trivia buffs, was the Supersonic Bangs. which
That was the original name,
that
the
was
Supersonic
But
Bangs?
that only lasted an hour.
About an hour
It
and a
only
half.
lasted an
Wait a minute,
hour.
how are they supposed to know
I
that?
know. So then we
They know
shortened it
now.
to the Bangs, which was our name for many
And then we
years.
lengthened it to the Bangles.
Then we lengthened it to the
Someone else
Bangles.
had the name the Bangs.
That's
no
right.
one had Supersonic Bangs.
No,
No.
that's
Well,
true.
Esquire magazine, but it was an
The
article.
Supersonic Bang was the name of a hairdo in 1965. I had this, Vicki and I had gotten together to try to brainstorm names, and Debbie was like on the
On the
the
phone.
hotline,
The
if
hotline,
you like
waiting.
this name. This was before when it was just the three of us, many years ago.
It was a hairdo?
And it was a hairdo.
Well,
there was this
it was.
cover.
They were being
They were
tongue in cheek
spoofing
about
the-
it. Yeah.
spoofing the-
Yeah, they had the Greco-Roman god or do, yes, and this.
Pseudo-Ronette duo.
Pseudo-Ronette,
Yeah, they had all
yeah.
these.
Supersonic Bang was similar to what I've got here, but it goes about 4 or 5 miles high.
So bangs over the forehead.
Bang-
And a
over
big
the forehead.
beehive
So it's like
attached.
sort of like a
Right
big
behind.
B-52 sort of thing.
Right,
Elvira,
but the
sort of.
bangs.
Yeah.
Like an Elvira,
sort of.
but not
Yeah.
that long. But
One
it's all
giant
piled on top
bang
of the head.
just coming down.
Let's talk
Right.
about some of these songs. Starting, of course, with the single,
Manic
Manic Monday,
Monday.
which I don't know anyone that cannot relate to that song.
Oh, yes. This is
Song
true.
for everyone. Yeah.
With a classic line. It just,
Figure out what I'm gonna wear.
just
Takes
takes
me
for
so long.
to figure
This is
out
so
what I'm
true.
going to wear.
Yeah.
And knowing that no matter how fast and how much you hurry and how many things you skip doing at home, by the time you get to work, the boss is going to be looking at you and going,
And
"You're
it
late."
does remind me of that Springsteen Dancing in the Dark, the line about looking in the mirror and wanting to change everything, and you can't change your face. You know, you just can't. But you
Yeah,
want to.
We experienced that many, many times.
Everybody
throughout
does.
the- yeah.
So,
Getting up at 6, though, to make it to work at 9, seems like an awfully long time to get ready.
only when you're on tour. Really.
Yeah, well,
Now, a friend of yours, Christopher, wrote this song.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
How did this one come to your attention? Was this one just brought to you? Was it
Well,
sent to
On
you?
a
Did
silver
you?
cloud.
We were phoned, and we met
Cloud.
him in a club at the Palace
Purple
in
Cloud.
L.A.
Shh. Sorry.
Yes, his favorite color is purple, and he came to the club, and because he'd seen the Hero Takes a Fall video and really liked that song, and saw a show, and then about 6 months later or 7 months later, we were going to London to do our European tour, and he happened to be on the plane. So
The same plane that you were traveling
same
on?
plane,
Very
sheer
one.
coincidence.
Of course,
It
he
was
had
really
bought out
great.
all of first class, and we were sitting back in the lavatories. But
Yes. So we got to talk to him on the plane for a long time and talk about songs and really just have a nice conversation. And then about 2 months later, there was a phone call from
and
a friend
behold.
of his saying, "There's, he wants you to have the song right now. Come over and get it right now." Actually, there were 2 songs, but Manic Monday was the one that we
Saving
put
the
on
other
this record.
Saving the
Although we
other
we're thinking of doing the other one live or
Performing it.
right for this album. We
What's
just
it called?
wanted-
the other one's
Just out
called
of curiosity.
Jealous Girl.
So there were 2 songs,
Scotch
and Manic Monday was the one that we put on the record. But
Well,
and
it's
then we
interesting to
sent
know.
him a copy. He was in Europe at the time, in France, and we sent him a copy, and he really loved it. So we were very, very thrilled.
Already, I was just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream.
The next song is Different Light, the title track.
In a different light.
In a different light. Well, that one was.
Who sings that one? You, Susanna, you sing Manic Monday, right?
Yeah.
I sing Different Light.
You sing Different Light.
And it was more a song about being very close to someone and trying to figure them out. Being close to someone and wanting to take 4 or 5 steps backwards.
Having no perspective, perhaps?
Exactly. And the whole thing, you know, I want to make a movie of you. I want to write a novel. I want to paint a portrait. I want to get you out of how I see you so close and take a step back, put you in another medium and figure you out. And it was also sort of the thing of other people see you in a certain light. I see you in a different light because I really know you. So I want to take a step back and be more superficial with you and see what happens.
It was one of those songs that came about in the perfect way that Vicki had a verse and pretty much
And the melody,
and the melody, and I sort of threw on a chorus. It kind of worked like that, and it was just boom. We wrote that one really fast too.
Yeah.
Are your songs usually written this quickly? You just
No.
kind of write them, you mull over them for days
Well, it
and
depends.
weeks.
Written in all different ways.
Sometimes they
go
take
from
months.
30 minutes to 6 months.
It's interesting. You can be in the tour bus and you can think of a chorus, and 6 months later, you go back to it and you remember it, and you go, oh, great. Well,
Of course,
I
we've
had the
never
verse
been in
over
a
there.
tour bus. We've only been in a van.
A tour
Tour
band.
band, right,
band.
The Bangles band.
We like to fantasize.
How do you decide who's going to sing the song? Since you all
Whoever
sing.
knows the most words.
Sometimes we try everybody singing it and see which person seems to.
A
make
lot
the
of
most
time
sense.
it's who has the emotional connection to the song.
Yeah.
You know?
Who wrote it and
Like
stuff.
like in Different Light, you know, when I came up with the verse and the words to it, and then we worked on it with Sue. It worked out exactly that I sang the verse and Sue and Debbie harmonized on the chorus.
I see you in a different light. I see you in a different light.
I wanna make a movie. I wanna put you on a silver screen.
Sit in a darkened room and look at you from a distance.
Wanna write a novel. Freeze all your expressions into words. I come back later and read about what I should have heard.
I see you in a different light. I see you in a different light. Different light.
I wanna paint your portrait and hang your colors on my wall. Start seeing form and content with my friends and drinks, and no one thinks at all.
I see you in a different light. 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 Different
Well, walking down the street, it just has such a great bounce. I mean, it has a strut.
That song,
melody.
that song.
You can
That
strut
took
to that
6 months
song.
to write. That one was like a million different things.
That was the torturous song on the record for us. Well, all of them were, but this one was more torturous than the others.
Actually, that one I talked to Christopher about, originally the song was just called Desire, and originally it was about just an intense desire, just anything about desire. It could be a desire to be, get an A on your report card, to a desire for a guy. And he said, "Oh, I only write about one kind of desire." And I went,
Obviously.
So I went home and thought, yeah, this is too
never wanted an
complicated.
A
This
on
is
his
getting a little
report card.
complicated. I'm going to write this about that moment where you've been absolutely infatuated with someone. You're madly in love. You have this incredible burning desire, just like in the Supreme song. And you've just gotten to the point where you're just walking down the street, and the whole song is really in the present tense of while you're walking down the street to go and knock on the door and say, "Here I am." It's like you're not going to wait anymore. You're not going to chicken out anymore. You're just going to do it. But the whole song takes place while you're walking. So there is a possibility that you could change your mind, but hopefully
You won't.
you won't.
And of course, we may have a sequel.
Yeah.
We may have a sequel when
Knocking
Savannah
on your
finally
door.
gets to his
Yes,
house.
you're willing to sacrifice your pride even of just saying, look,
Just
you may
let 'em
reject
know.
me, but I'm completely head over heels in love with you.
I've had sleepless nights, toss and turn, wake up burning for what you inspire. So I'm gonna walk right down your street with love that I can't hide. I've got one thing on my mind, yeah, sacrifice my pride. I want you. Oh, how I wish you would be mine. My pulse is sweet, blushing brighter than a Valentine. 'Cause I can walk right down your street with love that I can't hide. I've got one thing on my mind, yeah, sacrifice my pride. 'Cause I can't stop the way I feel, so I keep walking on. 'Cause I want you. Down the street, down the street. Oh no, I can't stop the way I feel, so I keep walking on. Walking down your street with love that I can't hide. Oh, I got one thing on my mind, yeah, sacrifice my pride. Walking down your street with love that I can't hide. Yeah, I got one thing on my mind, yeah, sacrifice my pride. Walking down your street with love that I can't hide. Oh, I got one thing on my mind,
September Girls, another cover on the record.
Yeah,
Who sings
well,
that one there?
That's me.
Michael
Yes.
sings it.
Thank you, Susanna. I had a roommate who had played me this tape of this band called Big Star. She said, "Listen to this," and I went, "Holy cow! Holy beep! Who is that?" It's the most amazing sounding record, and there's a real danger in trying to cover a record that sounds as good as that. A lot of these classic old '60s songs, there's no way that you can't. You have to do it your own way. But I don't know. It's safer to do a cover that isn't so brilliantly recorded. It's just such a perfect moment in time. There's no way to get like that guitar sound again or anything like that. But when you get the feeling of love for a song, that we all have for that song. It's an amazing song.
It's like when we tried to cover "Close My Eyes." I mean, "Open My Eyes." I'm sorry, "Open My Eyes." There was no way.
You can't do it.
We couldn't pull it off.
Some songs are made brilliant by the recording. And,
Yeah. But
like,
that's a good song,
it's a
and
good
also
song
the
also,
recording was
exactly.
this amazing.
Like, for instance, we were considering doing You Were On My Mind by the We Five. Wonderful song, one of our favorite songs. You hear that on the radio, blast it, sing out. But it's the record,
So
the way
great.
their voices sounded, the way they I mean, maybe we'll still do it one day.
You know
Who
what
knows?
we are gonna do is we're gonna do 2 a cappella covers in our live show now that we're doing tonight. We're performing them too. Our Mamas and Papas and the Beatles song, a real less
Less
well-known Beatles song, all with
Which one?
4-part harmony. Yes, it is.
This is.
Which Mamas and Papas?
Go where you want to go.
Big.
And we're going to do that now because it's something that we really love to do, which is just sit around and sing. Right? It doesn't have to tie into the record yet, but, just made me think of it.
Does the We Five work a cappella?
No, they were a folk band though. I mean, they were there was I guess one woman and 4 guys, and they were very much coming out of the folk scene.
Yeah,
But the
Mojo
way
Man.
they worked together,
Yeah.
the way their voices worked together, it was just one of those records that was,
Amazing.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like trying to do a Beatles song.
but
you
I
know?
mean, when you're doing these covers, like with September Girls, I didn't know. I mean, I was halfway through doing the vocal, and I said, "David, is this working?"
September girls do so much and for so long till we touched. I loved you, boy, never mind. I've been crying all the time. December boys got it bad. December boys got it bad. September girls, I don't know why. How can I deny what's inside? Even though I keep away, they will love all our days. December boys got it bad. December boys got it bad. When I get to bed late at night, that's the time he makes things right. But when he makes love to me, September girls do so much and for so long till we touched. I loved you, boy, never mind. I've been crying all the time. December boys got it bad. December boys got it bad. December boys got it bad.
How was it like recording your second record, your second album, knowing that you went in as at the last record being so well received critically, being critical darlings, knowing your ass was on the line, so to speak, knowing that this is you're maybe under the sophomore jinx that people do talk about, that this
Your
is
ass is always on the line.
Always.
Yeah, welcome to
It just
being
stays
alive.
there, it never moves.
I mean,
We didn't. I
boy,
don't
is it
think we
uncomfortable.
approached this album any differently than the first one. That we felt pressure on the first album. We'll feel pressure on the 42nd album.
We don't. We have our own pressure that we put upon ourselves, which is we
Intense.
We push ourselves heavily to play and write and sing as best we can, and that's enough pressure. That the rest of it's like we don't really. I don't know. I don't personally
out of our
experience it because
control.
I'm just doing what I can do the best I can.
Absolutely.
And if the outside world wants to, you know what I'm
You
saying?
have
Well, the
your
people
own-
that listen, the fans, I mean,
Yeah.
that we like your music. We're looking forward to it. But do you care what the writers say, the critics say? I mean,
You do, but let me just say one thing, that you, above and beyond anything else, I know I had a sense of this when I was working on this record, that you have your own musical, artistic goals. You want to sing better, you want to write better songs. You're just waiting for the chance to do it, you know? And on a record, you get, 10, 12 songs, and you want to create magical performances and
If you
have
are-
them on vinyl.
Yeah.
And it's you're living with this goal for a year or however long it was since you did your last record of what you want to do this time. And that really prevails, that sense.
If you can project something that is authentic and sincere, which is what we did with the first record and what I think we've done with the second record, I think that is what people react to. So I don't
Yeah, as
think
far-
we'll be disappointing anyone.
As far as like critics and people saying things go, I mean, everybody's got a different opinion about things, so you just kind of have to look at it and try not to take it personally, and just think in your brain and in your heart that you're doing your best, and
Yeah.
it's what you want to do, and if they don't like it, well, too
And-
bad.
And to
you know.
paraphrase, somebody, to that own self be true.